Page 66, Shepherd's Song. In this lesson, they're introducing another term for you for music, an RIT, which is abbreviation for ritardando. It's another Italian word, and it means to gradually slow down. I typically think of a train coming into a station and slowing down, and that's sort of what this is, except you don't slow down to a stop, you just slow down. How much you slow down? It's usually part of interpreting the music. You have to decide on how much you're going to slow down. I do the retardandos later on after I've gotten most everything else out of the way. So let's go through this routine for learning a piece of music and see what we have. I look it over, I see it's about 1.5 pages long. Treble and bass clef, 3/4 time signatures, so there's only 3 counts in a measure now, but the quarter note still gets a count. I see a bunch of quarter notes, dotted half notes. Would kind of expect that in 3/4 time, and half notes too. I'm going to kind of take this both hands together because most of the time it's just one hand or the other playing, and it shortens the video a little bit. But you're welcome when you tackle this, just take it one hand at a time if you need to, just to make sure you got the notes and the fingering down. But I'll do it both hands. Left hand starts with here, and that puts you in this position. Right hand starts thumb on middle C, and so we're in C position here. And we're not moving around until the very end, so you don't need any other finger numbers. Please don't be reading finger numbers. Read the notes. You need to know what the names of these notes are, and you need to remember which key, which note your fingers are on. It's all part of learning to play. It does come eventually. So at the beginning we have these, recognize those notes? It's a C chord. Learn to recognize these things in the music. It makes playing the music a little easier, because then I think I've just played a C chord here, just a broken C chord. Now measure 5. Remember the numbers at the beginning of the lines above the staff in the little box? Those are measure numbers. Measure 5. We have a C and an E together, and that's 3 counts. Hold it down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now that F in the right hand is tied for, you're going to hold it down for 6 counts, and while you're holding it down you do that. That's basically the trickiest part. Now the left hand at measure 17 moves, because you've been in this position. Well, at measure 17, you got to come up to this position. With the second finger on the end, on A, you're just coming up to, you have rest, you got plenty of time. So as, and then at measure 19, you got to come back down here. During the rest, measure 19, you come back down here for measure 20. Here. The last line, the last 2 measures, you're here, and then they say as soft as possible. I'll come back to the soft part later. Right now let's get the note. It's a C that has an 8V8 under it, so we go down an octave. So you just lift up and move. You can, if you'd like, play that with the right hand, because it's not doing anything. It's got time to get down there. I'll leave that up to you. Just because the note's in the bottom staff does not mean you have to play it with the left hand. Some teachers teach that. There's no rule that says that. It's convenience. What is most convenient to play the notes? And here, since the right hand's not doing anything, it's there. At the end of 3 beats though, leave your left hand there and both hands come up together. Or if you do that, you're leaving the right hand where it is, and both hands come up together. Either way, both hands are on the keyboard until the very end. And once you have the notes and the rhythms figured out, then I think about the articulation. And this mostly is connected. You have a few staccatos. Connect this. Now, in this first line here, these curved lines, we have to figure out, are they phrases or slurs? And I don't think they've introduced phrases for you, so we're going to pretend like they're slurs. Keep in mind a slur tells you to connect the notes within the slur. You do not necessarily lift up before and after a slur. Depends on the music. You have to decide, does it sound better? So if I lift up between measures 2 and 3, that with that, or I can connect it all. And I think it sounds better to connect it all. So I'm going to connect all of this together until the last measure of that page, where then I'm going to lift up. That's because it's a new phrase. Start at measure 5, melody. That's one sentence, it's one musical thought, it's a phrase. And then lift up. That's another musical sentence, another musical thought. So I'm going to separate each of these by lifting up. It's like taking a breath, just a real short lift up. Now when I get over to measure 11 here, staccato, hinge it here, and short. Now, measure 17. That whole line, I would connect all of that. To me, that's all one sentence. It starts with the last note in measure 16. That to me is all one sentence. I would connect it all. And then you can lift up it before you go to measure 21 and connect all of this. That's why it might be better to use the right hand so I can connect it. However, the pedal's going to help us out. I like to try and connect everything I can with the fingers. I'm not going to rely on the pedal for connecting things if I can help it. Then the dynamics. P at the beginning for piano is soft, and you'll have to decide what soft is. Not super soft, just soft. And when you get to measure 5, it's MP, it's mezzo piano, or sort of soft. That's the melody. This, in the left hand there, has to be in the background. And on measure 11, they give you a P, you don't need it. That's misleading. They're telling you they want the left hand soft. I'm telling you bring out the melody. If the left hand is, or the right hand is medium soft, that's the melody, the left hand has to be soft or softer. So you don't need these other P's and MP's and things they're giving you, just do it soft. So they give you an MP at measure 13. You don't need that, you're already MP if you ignore the P on measure 11, which you don't need. They're being too helpful. I think that's confusing. Music doesn't help you out this much very much. I mean, it might do this occasionally, but it was only because the music gets really involved and you're trying to figure out what's going on where. It might help you out a little bit there, but normally they don't do anything. It's up to you to just figure it out. And when you get to measure 21, it's soft like it was at the beginning. Then the speed, peacefully. Well, decide how fast you want the melody to go. Here. Of course, you can always look up Beethoven's Sixth Symphony and just listen to it, and you get an idea what the orchestra does. But if you're going to do that, you need to listen to more than one, because different orchestras will take it at different speeds. They'll have different interpretations, and it's important not to say, I heard it once and that's how it's done, okay, I'll do it that way. No, that's how they did it. Somebody else could do it different. So it's just peaceful and gentle in the middle. And that's where the ritardando comes in at the end. The last two measures, the bottom 67, you get, you just ba 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 bam bam. It just slows down gradually. And that last note, that is however slow you were going. So bam bam bam, 1, 2, 3, off. However much you slow down, so that last dotted half note is going to sound longer than 3 counts if you, at the speed you were going, but it is 3 counts because you're counting slower. And then we add the pedal. I totally disagree with this pedal. I would prefer you leave it out if you're, rather than pedal it the way they're doing it. And I'll tell you why. If I pedal it the way they're showing, I'm going to put it down at the beginning and I'm going to leave it down until measure 11. Total, through it all. That's what it sounds like. And I think that is absolutely terrible. Please don't play it like that. It's yuck. You either leave the pedal out or you fix it. What they're doing is they're keeping the pedal simple for you. So you don't have to think about what's going on with the foot. You're concentrating on the hands. But I'm saying you need to learn to hear the music and be critical of what you're hearing. And when you hear junk like that, you start to think it's okay. It's not okay. It's terrible. So we don't want that. Now when it's just one broken chord, like the first line, you can get away with pedaling all that because it all fits. It's all the same chord, it's the same harmony. But when you start that melody, we want that clean. We don't want that. Even though it's all notes within a chord, we want the melody clean. Now some pieces, it's the atmosphere of the piece. You want it to be blurry and misty and foggy. Not this. This needs to be clean. So I suggest you pedal the first line okay. But when you start measure 5, you don't want any pedal in that. I can hear the phrasing without the pedal. If I pedal it, it covers up the phrasing and everything. Then at the bottom, measure 21 and all, you can pedal all of that too. Like that. You can pedal all that. And then the pedal and the hands come up together. Now they say in the last measure there, as soft as possible. Okay, we'll talk about as soft as possible. How soft can you get with the fingers? Just the fingers by itself. You're just stroking it. Just real loose wrist, just stroke it. The idea is, as the key goes down, I'm doing this with the finger, which makes the downward motion of the key slower. And the slower it is, the softer it is. Is it? Now you can, in this situation, if you'd like, use the soft pedal. That's the left pedal if you have one. It's okay. It's a little dangerous on grands because it changes the tone, so we don't use it just whenever. But in here, as soft as possible, well, you can get a little softer with it. I get it so soft you can't hear it all. I mean, it's really soft. The idea is just make that really soft. You're dying away, sort of. It would be more effective if you would die away in the loudness as you slow down. So you're soft, there, softer, 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 through softer. Make each of those notes a little softer. That would be a good effect as far as interpreting it goes. Speaking of interpretations, they talk a little bit about it at the bottom of page 67. It's natural accents. I've already talked about them. The first beat of a measure. 1, 2, 3, 1. You feel these. 1. I could exaggerate. 1, 2, 3. 1. Feel these. Let it come out in the music that way. That is part of interpreting the music. Let's play this very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics, the louds and softs. I'll do the staccatos and the pedaling like I suggested. I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go. 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, off. There's a duet for this. I'd like to play the duet, and you play what we just played, but I need you to go up an octave on the piano again. So just pretend that middle C instead of here is here. So instead of here, you're up here. Play it all up here. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Let's try it together. I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go.